Your API is returning duplicate data due to retries. How do you fix it? This question you guys might be aware, because this question I've covered in multiple interview questions videos. If you see on my channel, that I have covered till now multiple questions. And apart from this, like I have covered, if I say so, I have covered some system design interview questions also. So inside that also one payment system design interview question was there. So exact question was being covered there. If you guys haven't watched it, so I will suggest it. So please go and watch that also after this video, that system design crash course. That is also very much important. And guys, please do the comments, and please have the meaningful comments. Please do not spam it. And I like that few subscribers of the few members of the channel have started helping to each other. This thing I have seen on the Discord also, and this thing I have seen on the YouTube also. And apart from this, like if you need any resources, any documentation, all the resources, all the documentation, each and everything is available on the Discord. Whosoever has Discord joined the Discord, I have already got that JetBrains licenses which I was giving. As I mentioned, I got some few more licenses, so I've given them. uh, and if you want it, so please ping your mail ID and I will share you the license. Okay, not many licenses are left, so if you ping at the exact time and the license is available, so I will share back to you. Okay. Okay. So till now, if you have thought about it, right? If not, I will say just pause about it. Like your API was returning duplicate data, but due to retries, how do you fix it? So what is happening? Just always remember, just think the cause. Like your API, you have ordered something from the e-commerce, for example, and your order went it, okay, successfully. But after some time, internally, what happens that any of the service goes down, or the inventory service goes down, for example, or order service or up, but inventory service goes down, and but the payment was successful. So again what it will happen, that again the user will come, okay, achha, this order on the user screen it is showing the it has not been ordered, or it is still showing into the cart. Somehow it is showing the order created has been failed or deliver, or missed it, or something error is showing. So what a user will do, user will try to do again order. Okay, so it will again create the order request, and it maybe it will can ask the payment again. Okay, so that is not the good approach, because user has already done the payment. So that's why here is the fix, that your API is returning duplicate data, means your services was down and you have created the order again, so it has again entered into a DB with the new entry. So for fixing it, what you need to do, you need to have some unique keys at the DB side and at the code side also, so that if any of the services goes down and if any of the request gets repeated, so it should not be like that, that your order is getting created again. Root cause, client times out and retries, but the server already processed the first request. Only the response was lost, not the write. Okay, means the UI side, the client who was sitting, he doesn't got the response, but in the DB the entry was happened. Okay, so for fixes, idempotency key, client sends a unique key per logical operation. Example, header idempotency key. Maybe in the request, client can send some unique inside the header some idempotency key. And the second better approach along with that is that you need to have some constant at the DB side also. So maybe some primary key, or maybe some unique key, a combination of your product ID plus order ID, so that again if the same entry comes, or unique key will be better in the product ID, order ID plus user ID. That can be a better unique key at the DB side. So if the user is again ordering it, so DB will reject it. Some constant can be there. Okay, and at the code side, at the Java side also, we can have that constant. So this how make write operation idempotent by design. Example, upsert instead of insert wherever possible. Okay, moving on to the next question. What is the indexing trade-off? When should you not use an index? If I say it, so this question can also be twisted in a way that user or interviewer can ask you what is indexing trade-off. He will not ask you this further question. This I have added it, but exactly this question will not be asked. They will ask you what is indexing trade-off. So does it mean? So indexing trade-off, if just came to your mind, So just remember about the index, that you do not need to create the index unnecessary. Wherever it is required, you need to create the index. Index in trade-off says that it turns the table scans into the fast O log of n, lookup for reads, join, filter, sort. But for writing purpose, what indexes do, that it takes space onto the disk, as it is a data structure, different data structure. For each every insert, update, delete operation you're performing onto the table, and it is having the indexes. So for each index, it takes time, because it is having some data type, onto the memory. The storage cost is there, and so that's why it can take time while performing the insertion, updation, deletion. So it is always a good practice that wherever index is required, there only you need to create the index, and unnecessary indexes are not created, or need to be created into a table. Okay. Avoid indexing. Well, table is small, this we have already discussed. Full scan is already fast. Column is low cardinality, few distinct values. Table is write heavy with few reads. Column is rarely used in where, join, order by. Okay. If the column is being used in join, where condition, something like that, in join queries. So for table small also, then you can create the index. Okay. So indexing, what it does, that it have the faster read but slower writes, as you have created indexing on that columns. Okay, guys, moving on to the next question. And till that, if you haven't hyped this video, please make sure you like, subscribe, hype this video. And if you like the video, how was the video? How was the video content? Into the comment section. So, next question is, your data is not saving even after calling save method of JPA. Why? This is another important question. Why your data is not saving even after calling the save method? Because it should save. Some repository is being called, and your data is, why it is not saving? Just think about it. And save returned without an error. So where did the write go? Means you have sent the data into the save, and you but in while checking into DB, or while calling the get API, your data is not getting stored. So what can be the causes? So moving on to the answer, maybe no transaction is there. And no transaction in the sense, for example, you have used multiple repository, and multiple repositories calling the save method inside the method. So that's why your data will not be able to save here, and you have not used at the rate transactional. This can also be the cause. Okay. And next one is the important one. If you have watched that at the rate transactional isolation propagation levels, so this thing I have discussed there, that if you are calling the save method, or at the transaction you are putting onto the same class, so it will not work. You're calling, for example, if you see order service is there, you're calling this save order, and inside save order method you are calling repo.save, and you have put that transactional, but it is being there into the same class. So it will not work, because inside that transaction, it works based on the Spring proxies, and it doesn't need, it can't identify, okay, for this is the same class, you need to call this transactional. So either you explicitly mention the proxy here, or so that at the transactional work, or either you, what you can do it, that you can call the same method, or put the same method inside some other class, so that if you have put that the transactional, so it can work. Then detached entity. Detached entity means that once the entity was open, and the session was open, and after some time, once the operation has been done, and it is no longer purpose, so that entity was closed. Means you have opened the entity manager for having some getting or fetching the values, and after some time, what has happened, that was entity was closed, and on that data which you have fetched from entity, you are trying to save it, or having some values to change, and then calling the save method, so it will not work. So instead of that save method, it requires the merged method, so you need to call entity manager dot merge, so it can update it. And another solution you can provide to the interviewer, that wherever it is required, instead as save, what it does, that if the entry and new entry is not present, so a new entry is created. If the entry is present, so it updates the value. So you can explicitly also create some queries where you can mention that if conflict is there, so update the queries, do not save it. Manual insert queries you can create it, and there you can mention this update part. Then wrong data source or profile, maybe data source or profile you have mentioned wrong, or DB you have pointed wrong. These are some silly mistakes, but these happen in the real time. And these answers or type of answer is expecting has been expected by the interviewer. Okay. No flush or commit, in memory change never flushed before the transaction ends. Sometimes what happens that for bank transactions we can have the flush method is there, but immediately push the data to the database. So these things can also be done. So through this way, save method will definitely work if you have put the save method at the transaction onto some different class. If you are if the read only transaction is there, so put their read only equals to true. And if you are there is some one more important scenario, a exception is caught internally, so the transaction rollbacks without the caller noticing. Means exception was being caught in the catch block, you are not throwing the exception again. So that's why you are not getting anything in the logs, but you are able to see that your data is not getting saved. So these are the some silly mistakes you need to avoid it, and this way you need to answer it. Okay,